You know, French, bonjour, you know, for me, it's just a nice thing. But the reply, I don't always know what the correct reply is.
Zuri.
Zuri, thank you. Listen, my brain takes time for things to sink in.
No, it's good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Let's start. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this evening. I see there's still a few people coming on, but very, very interesting conversation, very nice conversation. We are going to get into the meat of the matter this evening. And I think what Dr. Linus is displaying or is going to display is also is a very good place for us to start.
Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen until I connect.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with one of the members today, and they were talking about having the courses which we presented yesterday in other language. And I said the platform in most cases than not, you can get access in the language of your choice. So as we start this evening, I would like to welcome everyone. And if you don't hear my voice again, know that I am off, but you'll be left in the capable hands of the colleagues who are here. And yeah, so for us to, just to kick off, yesterday we started by showing the courses and how people could set up courses on the platform for the benefit of everyone. And the courses could cover, anything and everything that would be for the betterment of our members in the community. At the moment, the courses we have on there are mainly related to the platform, its use, access, password reset, and things like that. And one of the things that we would probably have to bring in as a course is how to apply a specific language on the platform. I remember when we were setting up account itself some time back, we kept on coming unstuck when one of the members kept on saying, I can't see Amharic. So we will try and make sure that all the languages that people communicate with become available on the platform. For people who speak Zulu, you would be able to access in Zulu and all of that. So Dr. Linus is just going to show, I see his screen is up now. He's just going to show where you go in to change the language. It's right on top of it. Okay. So good evening, everyone. And Dr. Linus,
good evening.
You can take us through that one.
This is just to show you, and then I'm gonna there is a short video clip I want us to watch as part of the introductory session today. But you go into your mobile phone and you just go to connect.swiffen.com in the normal way. When that opens up, you need to go to this all-important 3 dots on the top right-hand corner. So if I go there, you then pick this translate button, okay? This is only available, I believe, on a mobile phone because it's part of the app itself. It's part of the app. And you don't have to install the app for that to work. This is part of the app, so it's only available when you're getting this, using this on a mobile phone. And by the way, more than 90% of our users use a mobile phone to access this. Only very few use a laptop. So you click on translate, and then you can pick your language at the bottom of the screen. Let me move this. Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, it says English to Swahili. So if you want to change it, let me do something that will be very obvious to everyone. I'm going to choose Chinese. Okay, so you go to more languages, And then you come in here and you see there are many, many languages of the world. Okay, but let's pick one. We'll go back to Swahili in a minute, but let's pick simplified Chinese. Okay, so when you pick simplified Chinese, then you can start accessing the platform as usual, and everything is in Chinese. You can see that.
This is fantastic because I have a lot of people from Ecuador and they don't speak English at all. And this was exactly the question that they were asking. So Joe works in mysterious ways why this topic came up today. Thank you.
Yeah. And so you can go to the area where you post. Now I have to remember which one of these it should be. All right. But that doesn't look like a connect. So I think it's got to be that one. And so you can go to that page where our typical page where you post content, and you can then put your content that you want. Now, this particular page doesn't look like, it looks like translation has changed. But if we go back and click on translate, now let's go to Swahili. Okay, so you select Swahili on the bottom of the screen and you just scroll up and down. So Sister Lumba would have to tell us if any of that is making sense.
Yes, it does.
Look at that, habari.
Yeah.
You can see this here. Habari.
Habari za asubuhi. That's greetings of the morning.
Oh,
right.
No, greetings of the day. Greetings of the day. Asubuhi.
And then this one here.
That's Emma from Kenya.
Mchana.
Mchana. I'm forgetting my Swahili. I think asubuhi is morning. Mchana must be afternoon.
Right. Okay. And of course, we have members who are French. And so what you will do, so once you select Swahili, just like on Transact, where once you select a currency, you can do your transactions in that currency. When you come here on the app and you select a language, you can enter your details and your comments in that language. So if it's French, you type in French, and others would actually receive it and they can translate it. Now, I'm looking at this in Swahili. Of course, somebody else can be looking at exactly the same page in English or in Chinese or in French.
But if I'm typing something, Dr. Linus, because I can't speak Swahili.
Yes.
Can I type it in English and it will automatically translate the message into Swahili?
But you need to pick the language.
Yeah, that's fine. But as long as I can type it in English and it will translate it automatically into the native language.
Okay, just to be clear here, I have picked Swahili. So my working language is Swahili. And the system is therefore expecting me to enter inputs in Swahili. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to do that because I can't speak Swahili. However, I want to know that I can write it in English and it would automatically translate it into Swahili for argument.
Yes, to do that, Sister Pauline, you just have to switch back to English.
Okay, right, I'm with you.
Yeah, so we will come here and I would now go back to English. I go to translate and I can just pick English. So now it says, say what's in your mind. Now, if I type here, good morning, and post, and then somebody else goes in and, okay, I'm logged into my wife's account, as you can see. So somebody else can go here and then select, you can now translate to French. You click these three dots here to pick the language and select more languages. And then you pick French. Okay, if you pick French, then your working language is now French. And therefore, where I said good morning before, that should now be bonjour, if this works properly. Where is it?
Yes.
There you go, bonjour.
Mhm. Bonjour, yep.
So that's how that works. I mean, we've never really paid too much attention to it, but I think what we need to try and do also is to make sure that all the languages that are spoken across the continent are actually represented. Remember, at one point we put out a call for assistance where we said we need translators for all the continental languages.
Yes. Yes.
So we can localize this to the extent that we
Fantastic.
have translators that are available to actually correct the information that's put there.
Yeah, I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on it for laptops and see if I can find something for a laptop. Because this is for the phone, which is fantastic. But there are some people that also uses for laptop like me. So I will see if I can locate that, because that is something that's especially needed for us, especially us on the help desk, for our people who English is not their first language and they're more comfortable in their native language. But thank you, that was fantastic.
Yes, exactly. And please note, this is a feature of the app, okay? And if you have I think you can still install the app on your desktop and on your, so if I go, for example, to, I think there is a possibility of actually using, so if I go just to this and go to connect, I may well have it installed on my laptop, but I'll just check. It is possible to install it on a laptop. Extensions, obviously it needs to be as an extension somewhat. Anyway, let's not dwell on this. That'll be a topic for another day. But you can open it as an app, even from your laptop. Okay, but you have to install the extension on your laptop.
I will have a look on mine. Thank you.
All right. Now, in terms of opening remarks, there is a little video clip that I would like us to watch today as a start. It's quite, I found it quite inspirational when I watched it, and often I watch it many times, listening to the same message over and over and over again, because it speaks to what we are doing. And it speaks to the fact that we have to keep going to see the results that we want. So if you would permit me, Sister Pauline, I would play it.
Yes, please, go ahead, Dr.
All right, it's there actually on Connect. So I'm just going to go into Connect. And hopefully, all right, this is it. It is a speech by Admiral McRaven to a group of university students during a graduation event.
What starts here changes the world. I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. During SEAL training, the students are all broken down into boat crews. Each crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber boat, and 1 coxswain to help guide the dinghy. Every day, your boat crew forms up on the beach and is instructed to get through the surf zone and paddle several miles down the coast. In the winter, the surf off San Diego can get to be 8 to 10 feet high, and it is exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke count of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and be unceremoniously dumped back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. Several times a week, the instructors would line up the class and do a uniform inspection. It was exceptionally thorough. Your hat had to be perfectly starched, your uniform immaculately pressed, your belt buckle shiny and void of any smudges. But it seemed that no matter how much effort you put into starching your hat or pressing your uniform or polishing your belt buckle, it just wasn't good enough. The instructors would find something wrong. For failing the uniform inspection, the student had to run, fully clothed, into the surf zone, then wet from head to toe, roll around on the beach until every part of your body was covered with sand. The effect was known as a sugar cookie. You stayed in the uniform the rest of the day, cold, wet, and sandy. There were many a student who just couldn't accept the fact that all their efforts were in vain, that no matter how hard they tried to get the uniform right, it went unappreciated. Those students didn't make it through training. Those students didn't understand the purpose of the drill. You were never going to succeed. You were never going to have a perfect uniform. The instructors weren't going to allow it. Sometimes, no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up as a sugar cookie. It's just the way life is sometimes. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Every day during training, You were challenged with multiple physical events, long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of calisthenics, something designed to test your mettle. Every event had standards, times you had to meet. If you failed to meet those times, those standards, your name was posted on a list, and at the end of the day, those on the list were invited to a circus. A circus was 2 hours of additional calisthenics, designed to wear you down, to break your spirit, to force you to quit. No one wanted a circus. A circus meant that for that day, you didn't measure up. A circus meant more fatigue, and more fatigue meant that the following day would be more difficult and more circuses were likely. But at some time during SEAL training, everyone made the circus list. But an interesting thing happened to those who were constantly on the list. Over time, those students who did 2 hours of extra calisthenics got stronger and stronger. The pain of the circuses built inner strength and physical resiliency. Life is filled with circuses. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times, it will test you to your very core. But if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. At least twice a week, the trainees were required to run the obstacle course. The obstacle course contained 25 obstacles, including a 10-foot wall, a 30-foot cargo net, a barbed wire crawl, to name a few. But the most challenging obstacle was the slide for life. It had a 3-level, 30-foot tower at one end and a 1-level tower at the other. In between was a 200-foot long rope. You had to climb the 3-tiered tower, and once at the top, you grabbed the rope, swung underneath the rope, and pulled yourself hand over hand until you got to the other end. The record for the obstacle course had stood for years when my class began in 1977. The record seemed unbeatable until one day a student decided to go down the slide for life head first. Instead of swinging his body underneath the rope and inching his way down, he bravely mounted the top of the rope and thrust himself forward. It was a dangerous move, seemingly foolish and fraught with risk. Failure could mean injury and being dropped from the course. Without hesitation, the student slid down the rope perilously fast. Instead of several minutes, it only took him half that time. And by the end of the course, he had broken the record. If you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacles head first. During the land warfare phase of training, the students are flown out to San Clemente Island, which lies off the coast of San Diego. The waters off San Clemente are a breeding ground for the great white sharks. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. As Navy SEALs, one of our jobs is to conduct underwater attacks against enemy shipping. We practice this technique extensively during training. The ship attack mission is where a pair of SEAL divers is dropped off outside an enemy harbor and then swims well over 2 miles underwater, using nothing but a depth gauge and a compass to get to the target. During the entire swim, even well below the surface, there is some light that comes through. It is comforting to know that there is open water above you. But as you approach the ship, which is tied to a pier, the light begins to fade. The steel structure of the ship blocks the moonlight. It blocks the surrounding street lamps. It blocks all ambient light. To be successful in your mission, you have to swim under the ship and find the keel, the center line, and the deepest part of the ship. This is your objective. But the keel is also the darkest part of the ship, where you cannot see your hand in front of your face, where the noise from the ship's machinery is deafening, and where it gets to be easily disoriented, and you can fail. Every SEAL knows that under the keel, at that darkest moment of the mission, is a time when you need to be calm, when you must be calm, when you must be composed, when all your tactical skills, your physical power, and your inner strength must be brought to bear. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive this freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope, the power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit, is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. It will not be easy. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much.
Okay. First, my apologies, Sister Pauline. I should have warned everybody that it's about 16 minutes long. But I think I hope it was worthwhile watching that to the end. And that video is on Connect. It's available on YouTube. We can all watch it. Now, one of the things that, for me, it's a constant reminder that you should don't let anyone tell you that your struggles and the struggles of your forebear have not given you enough experience and prepared you enough for great success. We all have it in us. It's genetic. For us to change the world, we need each other to keep the movement strong. One person at a time. We will reach millions and change millions of lives. Do not be afraid of the sharks. They could be all around us. And do not give up, most importantly. Don't ring that bell. The sun will shine on our goals and our struggles to lift up everyone so that we can achieve our goal of inclusive exchange or inclusive value exchange with decorum. That's our goal, that's our mission. None of us can do it alone. We all need each other as a community, one person at a time, one group at a time, one community at a time, one country at a time, and together we will reach millions of people and change lives in our lifetime and strengthen the future generation to build on that same foundation so that the world can be a better place, better than we inherited, and hopefully others can continue to match on and deliver on our promise for uplifting everyone and bringing change to millions of people. So that's it, and that's the introductory remarks for today. I hope that video speaks to everyone as it does speak to me. I play it and I listen to it a lot. I know what our forebears have gone through. I know their struggles. I know what our struggles are like. And I know we are prepared and we are ready to achieve our goals. And now is the time. Now is absolutely the time. So thank you very much and welcome to today's daily session. Over to you, Sister Pauline. My apologies for the extended intro.
Give thanks, Dr. Linus. On the contrary, for me, that was an edifying video because it showed me never, ever give up, no matter what the obstacle you may. Can I just ask everybody to keep your mics muted, please? Out of respect for whoever's presenting or commenting or participating. For me, it just showed me that every time that we link together here on this platform, I know that each of us could be doing other things. You can always make excuses to do other things, but the fact that you are here with us and we are together, we are much stronger and we will get there. Even if the obstacles look like, oh my God, things are going to be falling apart, we are here together and we know that we will strengthen each other continuously. So no, Dr. Linus, that was a fantastic introduction. Brother B seems to have got thrown off. Sister Lumba, I think that you were on earlier on, so I don't know if you want to partake a few words, and Sister Audrey, these are people who have been on the help desk from goodness knows how long, and anybody else that wants to participate. If you do, please put your hands up. We don't shout out, and you can then have something to say after. So Sister Lumba, please, you go first, and then Sister Audrey. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Pauline. Good evening, Dr. Linus, Sister Audrey, Sister Pauline. I don't know if our brothers are in the house, Patrick and Ellard. Brother B, unfortunately, it's a power issue. The power has gone, so he won't be with us. Yeah, it's a problem in Southern Africa. We're all going through that, but we just have to struggle along and see what we can do. We continue to receive your requests for AKL transfers, and I will keep on telling you, you need to write your requests properly. Don't spell your name wrongly. Don't make a connect profile link that doesn't take us anywhere. You need to update your connect profiles, your Swifin account profiles. all these things help us to authorize your requests. So if you see that you're getting denials all the time, you need to get your house in order and put everything in place. And once that's done, it'll be plain sailing and you'll be able to get your transfers done. And remember, this is like a trial run for the actual thing when you will actually now start buying goods and services. So get it right now, and it'll be very easy for you once the web shop is up and running and more merchants are displaying their wares. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lumba. Sister Audrey, I don't know if you want to unmute and say a few words.
Good evening, Dr. Linus, Sister Pauline, Sister Lumba, Brother Patrick, if you're here, Brother Ellard.
I think they've got network issues, and I think Brother Patrick's actually traveling.
Right, but just saying hello to them, they may be listening. No. Each day we come to the platform to hear what's going on, to see the different movements, the amendments that helps us to make that further step every day. And we learn more. We learn how to interact. We learn how this will take us into the next generation, experiencing everything now, but moving in the next generation. And there's always something new that leaves you all excited every day. There's never a dull day that I come to the platform that there isn't something that helps to motivate me a little more. And I hope it's the same for everyone. What I'll speak of now, though, it's a change of the email addresses. I noticed there's an influx coming in. We just ask that while these are attended to, you may be in a queue, and we just ask for the patience that you're able to get this attended to. Everyone is making a transition in one form or another and understanding a little more and is moving into one sphere. So we just ask for the patience. It will all be attended to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Audrey. Right, so we've got two hands up now for the time being anyway. So we go first to Samika Pope. Please unmute yourself, ma'am.
Greetings, everyone, out of St. Vincent. I just want to inform that there are two persons on the platform. One is from Barbados, and also my sister-in-law, who also is interested in getting her account up and running. I have the member from Barbados. He is interested, but he would like to know more about it, as to what it does. And I know Sister Pauline has been a very good supporter when it comes to these things. So I don't know if she would have any impact in, just giving them a little feedback on that. Secondly, I am having problems still. I sent out a ticket, but it keeps sending back and telling me it is being rejected. I don't know why.
What is being rejected?
I don't know. I sent out a ticket in terms of to get my AKL up and running.
Your AKL is up and running. I think it's the value that has to be changed, that you needed to write your ticket for, to say that your AKL has been approved and that you would like your limit to be adjusted, so to enable you to do transactions. Dr. Linus, if I am correct or incorrect, can you come in, please, and clarify?
Yes, anybody who has had their Transact account profile updated and approved and wants to have their limit on account removed or increased, we can do that. That's absolutely fine. And in fact, while we are taking the next few questions, we can address those in the background as well. So, Sister Samika, do you have your SWIFT ID? We can do that right away while we're looking at other questions.
Yes, please, I do.
Okay, just give me one moment. I will ask you, can you send it to me on the chat direct, please? And I will resolve that immediately. I'll try and assist and resolve that immediately.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Heidi,
Right,
please.
thank you, Sister Samika. And welcome to our sister's guest and Dr. Linus. I do appreciate that you're going to be looking at Sister Samika's request. Do we have the short video? Because as she heard us say that she has a guest who would like to know more about the Lumi. I don't know if you have that short video that we normally show for the inclusion and what we are actually about, the 80% unbanked, et cetera, I don't know if you have that available.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, that video is available, and I think it would be the best one to show very quickly. It is less than 2 minutes long, so if I may have the permission of the audience that we play yet another video, that would be great. But every time I watch it, even I get inspired more and more. And particularly after this first introductory video, which we have watched, which tells us that we need each other and that the journey cannot be completed by an individual, that we need a movement. It reinforces the fact that we are on the right track. We're doing all the right things. We are not going to give up. We're going to keep going. We need to have a common standard for exchanging value for our people in order to bring about true economic emancipation, economic empowerment, and the ability to participate in the real economy for everybody, no matter where they are. So that's our goal, that's our movement. And I think that video will encapsulate it really well. So I would like to play it.
Yes, please. Just so it's only for anyone here that's new and would like to know a little bit more about what, like what Sister Samika was saying, what the Lumi is about, what the Lumi can do and has done and will continue to do. That way you got a general idea, and then you can ask any additional questions that you may have after you've seen the video. So please go ahead, Dr. Lyland. And the participants who have their hands up, we are not ignoring you. It's always good to continuously see in these videos to keep enforcing in us the road that we're going. So please, Dr. Linus, if you have it available, that would be appreciated. Or would you prefer me to continue taking questions?
Please continue while I bring it up on my screen.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So we'll come back to you, Sister Samika. In the meantime, Brother Vincent, can you unmute and go ahead, please, sir? If you can keep your questions direct, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Dr. Mr. Vincent. You're very clear today. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's due to internet connection in my area. Oh, my special greeting to the management and to all the sweeping members. My name is request, not a question. And my request is this. Based on how to convince people in our locality to register themselves in sweeping family, many of them has resulting due to some failed poverty alleviation programs that they've registered and nothing come up from it. So my request is there anyhow, even if it is my own AKL, can transfer to any person that have goods, that these goods should be sent to me so that I can use them to convince more of the people whoever want to trade with the Lumi. I hope my question is clear and understandable.
Dr. Linus, did you understand, Brother
Yes,
Vincent?
that's a good question. Thank you very much. It is incumbent on all of us to find opportunities where we can produce the things that we are able, willing, and ready to sell in Lumi, and to find those that are producing things that we can convince them to sell in Lumi. And if you have attended a few of our recent sessions, there are many members of this community now who run restaurants that are accepting Lumi for payment. I believe there is a market in Nigeria where people can go and spend their Lumi. I haven't been there myself, but these things are happening. There are various conversations going on in South Africa, and I'm sure you've seen some video clips that are flying around with some major retailers. There is work in progress and things that are happening. the Lumi is here to stay. But what will make the Lumi even more powerful is for all of us to come on deck, for all of us to continue the strong movement that it has become. And I think at that point, or at this point, it's the right time to play that little video clip, which I have here on my screen, if I may.
Yes, please, sir.
We are using technology to deliver access to digital financial services differently and supporting businesses to fight poverty, fight unemployment, and fight exclusion from financial services. There is a quiet movement that is bringing together human beings from all walks of life. A movement that has captured the hearts of many individuals, communities, governments, and businesses. The movement is connecting humanity from cities around the world like Kingston in Jamaica, and cities from within continental Africa like Harare in Zimbabwe, Johannesburg in South Africa, and Kampala in Uganda. It is rapidly sweeping through whole countries like Uganda, Nigeria, and Jamaica. It is driven by individuals like you and I who want to reach and change millions of lives in our time, even those in the most remotely located areas. So that together we can reach millions and fight poverty, unemployment, and unequal access. Okay, so I hope that little video clip goes a long way in addressing some of the questions that people might have had. And also for the new members who have joined us today for the first time, welcome. I hope that gives you an idea of the kind of movement that this is and why it is so important that now that you have come on board, you bring others, because person after person, community after community, we will reach our goal of ensuring that we deliver the kind of access that people have not known for a long time. That wherever you are, we may for the first time include everyone within the new digital economy, so we can begin to drive trade and wealth creation for everyone, and for that wealth to be transferred from one generation to the next. This is not a quick buck. I mean, it's not an opportunity to make a quick buck. Of course, we need to do things that can change our own circumstances now, but it has to be based on foundations so strong that it outlasts our own existence here on earth. So anyone who is looking for a quick buck to make some quick money, this is not the place. This is a movement which is very focused on addressing some of the decades-old problems that people have only dared talk about. We are delivering the solutions to those problems in our time. It will be hard. The journey ahead of us is still a long one, but we will get there as long as we don't give up, as long as we don't ring that bell. We must never give up. There will be sharks on our path. We need to face up to them. There will be challenges. We need to overcome them. But the goal is to achieve inclusive exchange of value that is accessible to everybody. That's our mission. That's our goal. That's where we are going. We will not be wavered on that. So welcome. Let's keep moving.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. And Sister Samiko, I hope that answers or gives a general insight to your visitor as to what the Lumi is about and what the Lumi can do. So thank you for that. And Brother Vincent, I hope we were able to answer your question also.
Yes, you answer my questions, but I operate schools in which I've considered introducing this Lumi to most of the parents. And by next year, as we resume back, I consider accepting Lumi for the tuition fee. If possible, if the management can display or avenue or shops that I can be able to get materials that I can be able to exchange it to the value of Lumi to our locality here to enable me convict many to register into Swifting family.
Okay, have you put it on the community?
Pardon?
Have you put this request in the community?
I haven't.
That's a good place to start, because we don't know. I'm just saying, you may have someone here or someone's in your community that doesn't know that you're looking for aids or books or anything like that, and could see you in the community and says, oh, I can reach out to Brother Vincent because I have some books to sell that can enhance him, and then I'm willing to accept the Lumi. Put it out there, because unless we put it out there, no one's going to know. At least until the shop is up and running and affiliated and it's accessible, you use whatever tools that you have, or put it out. If you've got an advertising, put it in the window, anybody that's got anything, you start somewhere. But congratulations and well done, and all the success to your future venture. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Princess Dippo, how are you, Princess?
I'm okay, and you?
I am good. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So how can we help you today?
Yeah, I've tried to transfer money from my Swifting account to my Transact account.
Okay.
But last time when we were on training, on the South African training, I mistakenly edited my Swifting Connect. So when you're transferring money from Swifting account to Transact, it wants your Swifting Connect, and now my transaction has been declined.
Okay.
So I wanted the lady that is helping with the transfers to explain to me how can I do it so that it doesn't get declined.
Sister Lou. Okay, Princess.
She's putting me on the spot.
Yes, we have the experts here.
Yeah.
Dumela me. Dumela Dipo. Likai.
Likai.
Okay. So we are trying to now to be very nice to her so she doesn't get too upset with us.
No.
So, Bob Princess, when you make your request for a transfer, we look at all three accounts. We check your profile in your Swifting account. We check your profile in your Connect account, and we also check your KYC details. So all the information must match, each and everything must match. If there's a spelling, if your name is not spelled correctly, for instance, your name here, you've written Princess instead of Princess with the double S, it could be a flag that may decline your application. So with the Connect profile link, you cannot just make a profile link, because when we click on it, it must take us to your page. There must be that connection, and that's why it's called a link. It's very important because this gives us the basic information. Example, is the picture on your profile link, is it the same as what's in your national ID? So if you don't put a picture in your Connect profile link, maybe you put a picture of a cat, a boot, or you just put your initials, you're making it difficult for us to know whether we're dealing with the same person. Mind you, we have similar names. There's some common names which we have in every country. You have names that are very common. In Zambia and Malawi, it's probably the name Banda. You can have John Banda, Peter Banda, or Peter Piri. There could be 50 of them, and they only have those names. So the only way we are able to recognize, is this your particular account, is by checking through your Connect profile link. So you are saying that the question I'm going to ask you is, have you reached over 70% in your Connect profile in putting in the information that we've asked for? Have you done that, May?
Princess Dippo, you can unmute and answer the question. if that's okay.
Hello,
Princess?
Hello. Oh. Yes,
Princess Lipo.
there was,
Yeah, I've asked a question. I'm asking you a question.
yes.
Have you filled in your Connect profile to 70% and more?
Yes, I have. And it was not for the first time I transferred money from my Transact to from my account to my Transact. It's the third time. The first 2 times it went through perfectly. But because this time I had actually accidentally changed my Connect link. So I don't know, we were training, so I cannot use my Connect link. I
Okay.
changed it and I did it my website. I put in my website. So when I did the transfer, where it wants the Connect link, I actually put in my website, you know. But the other 2 times it went through perfectly. There was no problem. I did it again now with the Connect link. Again, I transferred it there. So I'll see if it will accept. And if it's a problem again, I'll ask for help again.
I can tell you, if you have put in your correct Connect link, it will be authorized. The website that you put in, which you said you put it erroneously, you've actually answered your own question. That is why it was rejected. So you have to put it in properly. You have to spell everything properly. If you change and put your nickname instead of your username, or you just, you put a wrong spelling, then the link won't work, because once we click the link, it should automatically take us to your page. So you've actually answered the question, and I am sure your request will go through. My internet connectivity is not too good. I'll try now in the background to look for your request as the other people are asking questions, and I hope I'll be able to respond to you to say whether it's correct or not. So if you can just give me a little bit of time to work on that.
Yeah, it's not my name. It's South African Royal Kingdoms Organization.
Okay.
It's SARKO.
I'll write that down.
SARKO.
So you're
It's
not,
S for sugar,
so
A
you're
for
not,
apple.
so you're not actually transferring from your personal or for your personal thing. You're actually transferring on behalf of your organization, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what I actually registered for myself. I
Right.
registered the organization.
Right. So does your organization itself have a Connect account?
Yes, it has everything. That's what I'm using.
Okay.
I don't use the personal account. I use the organization. So that's what I do. Everything, recruiting, everything is done on that account.
Okay. Well,
That's
like I
not
said,
a problem.
But the details, like my ID and everything, would be my names. My ID numbers and everything would be my name, but I use the South African Royal Kingdom as my Connect.
right. So it's something that we're going to have to look into, because I can understand what you're saying, because your Connect account is in the name of the organization. However, your IDs is in a totally different name, because your ID will
Yeah.
come under as if it's a personal account, but your Connect is an organization.
No, everything, even my Swiffing account, it's actually South African Royal Kingdoms. My Swiffing account, my Connect account, my Transact account, everything is on the South African organization name.
Okay, can I just come in?
Princess Dipo,
Yes.
because you are submitting the details for an organization, it is necessarily the case that in addition to submitting your ID to identify you as a person in charge of that account, you would also need to submit a document for your organization.
From your organization.
For example,
I
the
did.
incorporation document and all that.
I did all of that when I registered right at the beginning. I
Okay.
submitted everything.
In that case, then it should be perfect. Sister Lumba would look into it. And
Yes.
it sounds like the change that you made to your profile link is what could have caused you the issue. Can I just ask you for your username, your Connect username, so I can bring up the profile link right here, just to make sure that it is showing up and it is correct.
Okay. It's S for sugar,
S for
A
sugar.
for apple,
Yes.
A for apple,
Yes.
R for Ronnie,
Yes.
K for king, O
Yes.
for Olga, 01. One word.
01. That is Salco 01.
Yeah.
SAAR or just SAR?
SARKO 01.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. I can see that, but that profile says the poor Mokolo.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
It's not supposed to say Diporo. It's supposed to say Stako.
It's supposed to say South African Royal Kingdoms, because that profile is your personal profile. So any transfer that you attempt to make from your South African Royal Kingdoms account to your Transact account in the name of South African Royal Kingdoms, it will never go through.
So what must I do, Dr. Linus?
You have to have a
Can I come in there?
Okay,
Okay.
yes, Sister Lumba, go on.
Yes. So what you need to do is to have a separate account for yourself and a separate account for your organization. And when you are putting in, for example, the profile picture, you can use a logo of your organization.
Or a letterhead.
Where you need to put the national, or the national ID, you would put your company registration or cooperative registration. I don't know how you've registered your company. So
Yeah,
that's what
because
you
I
need to
think
do.
on
You
my-
need to separate.
Okay. Because I think
You
on
need
my
to separate
Connect,
the two.
I think on my Connect, I've actually put in the logo on my Connect
Yes.
account. It's
Yes,
actually a
but that-
logo of,
That would still
Yeah.
be declined, Princess Dipo, because even though you put the logo, it's no different from putting the picture of a cat, because the logo says
Okay.
Salco and the
Yeah.
name says Dipo Mokola.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
So it will never go through.
Linky doesn't watch TV.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do I
So
do
maybe,
now?
okay,
Because
what
I've
you
been
can
working
do,
on
just,
this account.
yeah, Sissy, can you give me your contact details? Send them directly to me, your mobile number with your country code, and then I can help you sort this out.
Okay,
It won't
thank
be
you.
sorted out now.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ke a
Princess.
leboha.
Yeah, Aleni.
This is fantastic. I'm loving this language. I'm loving this language, honestly. Our next one is for Akia Paul. Akia Paul. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, please correct me.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Linus and other leaders in the house.
Greetings, sir.
Greetings.
How can we help you?
Each time I hear your voice on this daily briefing, I strongly excited that I'm hearing the voice of giants of Africa. And I actually encourage people to register on this platform because I believe that we Africa, we are creating a very genuine platform that could lead and expand, also eradicate poverty in Africa and create more opportunity for youth to have jobs and opportunity for them. So it's grateful. But my problem is that, everyone registering here in our country, like in Nigeria, I'm a Nigerian. So I understand that since Nigeria, since the Lumi agent came into Nigeria, they visited our former president, Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo. That was what I see on the internet. And have never seen any of the financial ministry that have make announcement concerning Lumi in order to enlighten their people in our country as a single instrument for exchange. So I wonder how it happens to be like that. Or is it that we, the beneficiaries, has to enlighten others to use Lumi before it will be accepted in our country? Because I could imagine a scenario if a filling station accepted to do the transaction on Lumi, selling a liter of fuel with Lumi, before everything could change to be selling in Lumi, or our Ministry of Finance, we announce it before others could be aware of it. That is where I'm confused. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my feelings and ask my question.
Thank you so much, Akegie. Thank you. The question is a very valid one. It's not every conversation that is being had in the background that is worthy of being presented in the press. Sometimes when you see some video clippings and some things, they are leaked, okay? They are leaked. They are not things that we have intentionally put out as news. That is because we don't actually want the strategic conversations that are going on in the background to be marred by misrepresentation in the media. That's very important. But just rest assured that the Lumi is here to stay. We're not going anywhere. The Lumi is here to address the true problems that have plagued people, not just within continental Africa, but all over the world for many, many decades. There are 1.7 billion people who are currently excluded from accessing financial services. We want to include them. In Africa, we have 54 countries, but over 40 different local currencies, none of which you can use anywhere in the international marketplace. We need to change that. And so the Lumi comes confidently and firmly as an instrument to drive the operationalization of the African Continental Free Trade Area and provide the opportunity for the diaspora to trade with continental Africa in every single country. That's why we created Transact. It is the most innovative tool for the Lumi yet. We encourage everyone to go there and experience a local payment experience that Transact provides without having to convert anything into any local currency. Now, in order to answer your question this is not politics, and I'm not going to go into politics. It's about economic empowerment and economic inclusion. But remember that the kingdoms within continental Africa started off as kingdoms, and then we ended up with about 54 different fragments of parts of the continent split into different countries. You are from Nigeria. I would encourage you to go to Benin. Go through that market that straddles Benin Republic and Lagos. You will see that there is no boundary. You will see that it's the same people on both sides. You will see that you don't have to prove yourself to go into that market from the side of Lagos and walk into Benin. Same people. The boundary that is there that divides those two people is artificial. Now, for your information, those boundaries were drawn in an 1884 Berlin conference in Germany. There was no African on the table. The currencies that were introduced subsequently are there to prop up hegemonies that are intended to keep economies impoverished within the continent. The day we wake up to that reality and realize that that is what we are facing, that's when we begin to know firmly that what we are doing is for the liberation of every single person, so we can level up and bring about real economic transformation and economic emancipation. Now, if we are thinking that one day will come when permission will come from somewhere from the high office that will enable that to take place naturally, unencumbered, then we are joking, then we are not serious. That is why this movement is for the people, by the people, and for the empowerment of every single individual, person by person, community by community, country by country. We are going to start working with those kingdoms that are still there and still the custodians of the people and the lands on the continent to start driving adoption. So keep your ears open. But conversations are going on at a very high level. I'm not going to discuss that. We came back recently from a tour of the continent where we visited many countries in Africa, where we saw misery for ourselves firsthand on the streets, where we saw opportunities to transform lives and restore dreams and hope into individuals and families and communities. That's what drives this movement. It would not be a quick fix, my brothers and sisters. So the journey is long, but we must stay on course. We must keep moving. I'll tell you a story, and I'm not going to name the country. We went into one country in Africa and met with very senior people in government, the same people that are supposed to be the custodians of the hope for the people. And in one of the countries, one minister said, "Oh, what you guys are trying to do is impossible. France will never let you." Is it French people that are suffering in Africa? Why should we go and ask France to do what we are doing?
No,
Why is it a matter for Germany? Why
No,
is it a
they're
matter
not.
for the United States?
They don't care.
But these are the custodians of our system. Let's keep moving. Let's get everybody on board. I've got my Lumi, get yours. Let's keep exchanging value amongst ourselves. And let's reach every corner. Let's reach every remote community in every local rural area in every country. And let's create opportunity and restore hope for millions of people. You are from Nigeria, my brother. Now,
Yeah.
12 months ago, if you wanted to exchange your Nigerian naira with $1, you might have paid 400 Nigerian naira or thereabout, 350 to 400. You go and try and do that today. 12 months later, it's going to be at least 800 to 1,000, depending on where you're getting it from. If you go to Sierra Leone, the same story. If you go to Ghana right now, same story. Go to Malawi, same story. But we have what the world needs, the rest of the world needs. So the day that we recognize the value of what we have and have the confidence that the future, the economic future and the prosperity of our people and our nations depends entirely on us and not on some foreign land, that's when change comes. Anyway, that's enough.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. That was so powerful. You even had me speechless there. Honestly, thank you. I hope that does answer your question, Akiapo.
Yes.
Just continue strength to strength. If you come across a business that you want to start up, or you know someone that's got a business, talk to them. Say, have one day for Lumi, the other days for Fiat, because we understand they have to stock. Yeah, one day for Lumi, and slowly, cas per cas. I'm not quite sure what the terminology is in Nigeria. Small, build up mountains. Yeah, so just continue with the good work that you're doing. Get people signed up, yeah, to accept the Lumi, and then we'll be talking our show. And we don't have to then ask them when they've filtered our money, our resources out of our country. And if we want to build our road, they have to give us back a loan for the money that they originally took out of our place in the first place. Those kind of things need to stop. And only we can stop it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Linus and Sister Pauline, for your maximum cooperation. I want everybody to understand, and I want you people to continue with this journey and firmly stand on Lumi Exchange, because many people are the Lumi Exchange fear, in which we are not open to, because I also feel the pains of dollar being high. Because sometimes when you go to market to buy something, the seller will right because the dollar. I believe with the hope of Lumi, other countries too may come, other continent may come in to involve in our business, our activities, and then our economic will change in Lumi, and all of them will bow for the Lumi. So I always appreciate your effort making us possible to achieve this movement of Lumi, and as being a financial inclusion, and I'm also included, and I'm trying everyone around my community to be involved and be included in financially support, so that maybe one day when Lumi come through, every street in my locality will change. I don't need any explanation to politicians to come and cheat us. So thank you so much. I'm grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The only thing I would say in that statement that you said there, my brother, you said maybe. This is not a maybe. This is a definite.
Okay.
Yeah, definite. And we have to go with that mindset. Definite. We want to change. We are not talking about maybes anymore. Yeah, the Lumi has come to set us free on our journey. Because as for me, I'm in the UK and I am tired of them telling my story. I want to tell my story, as well as my brothers and sisters tell their story. And one of it is taking us out of this colonial thing, like Dr. Linus spoke about earlier on, that dictates. Do not, and I say this to everyone, do not change your wonderful Lumi into a fiat currency that has no backing. It is just a piece of paper with a number on it. Not because we are used to seeing it, we're going to big it up more than our Lumi. No. Our Lumi is backed by, underwritten by gold.
Grants of gold.
You understand? So we have something they seek. We have to harness our own, just like they want to come in and harness it, whether it be French, German, Britain, the USA, they can't do anything. We don't need to try. We can gain that experience because I can still pay you in Naira, in the Naira equivalent, but it will be my Lumi currency that stands the test of time.
You know, let me tell you a story. There is a video clip, and this is a fact. Any of us can try it. Everyone knows that the franc CFA was pegged to the euro and was supported by the French Treasury for many years, and still goes on to this day. And so you can go very easily in all these countries that use the franc CFA and both the Central African franc CFA and West African franc CFA. And people can happily exchange euros. And people can also, of course, side by side, happily exchange their local currencies, which is the franc CFA. But if you travel to Paris and you take your franc CFA out of your pocket and hand it to a merchant, guess what? They won't accept it. So, I mean, in one of the conversations that we had during one of the sessions, we said we need to be open-minded to look at what is normal and what is standard and what is acceptable. So it is acceptable for me to accept foreign money in my own country, and that same country would not accept my own money in their own country, yet my currency is pegged to theirs. How can that be normal? How? And if you're traveling from Sierra Leone, right, and you want to do business with next door Nigeria or next door Ghana, you have to go and buy US dollars first. And then when you go to Ghana, you convert your US dollars into Ghana CD. Or when you get to Nigeria, you convert your US dollars into Nigerian Naira. But you are from next door Sierra Leone and you want to trade with your brother and sister. Imagine doing that between people who are in Lagos and those that are in Benin. Because in Benin Republic, they use franc CFA. In Nigeria, they use the Naira. There is a market that straddles one part of Benin and goes all the way across to Lagos. Do you know that? Are there people here who are from Nigeria? Hello?
Nigerians, Femi, I'm sure Femi is from Nigeria. Nane and Jude, you're from, even Paul, are you not from Nigeria?
I'm in Nigeria.
I'm a Nigerian.
So is that true? What I'm saying, is it true?
Very, very true, sir.
Okay. Same people, right? They speak same language. Anyway, but there is a boundary that divides them.
Very true.
All right. But we're going to ask foreigners to try and sort that out for us.
And as I said, the end outcome of that is most probably going to be.
Anyway,
I'm not going no more.
Let's carry on.
Okay. The next one is, thank you, Brother Paul. The next one is Femi. Let me just do the Femi because I'm okay on the Femi. So forgive me, sir. Oh, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Tell me how you pronounce your name because I need to learn to get it correct.
Adekunle Femi. Adekunle.
Adekole?
Yes, Adekunle.
Adekole Femi. So go ahead, sir. And if you could be brief with your question, that'd be appreciated. Thank you, sir.
So my own question is based on what you have just said. That there is a place where I'm only hearing of it on this platform, but I've not heard this from anybody, and I don't know. So my request now is that please, if you have the contact of anybody there or how we can locate the place, please let us know so that we can also patronize there, and from there we can also get included.
Yeah.
So that is number one. Number two is concerning the Christmas bonus. So I don't know, maybe the bonus is being paid into Connect or into. So, and are we to request for it or is it automatically? So that is what I want to know.
I didn't quite understand all of your questions, sir. Dr. Linus or?
Yes. The Christmas bonus is a bit of a surprise. We will announce it in due time and it will be made available in the appropriate place. So don't worry, just be patient. We will talk about it perhaps before the close of this week.
Okay.
Okay, thank
If
you.
we can have
But it is already
address-
it is already going out, and it is a bit of a surprise. You need to discover it yourself. But we'll talk about it before the end of the week.
Dr. Linus, there's a message in the chat from Victor. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your surname. Gaius. And he's shared a big an article, I think, about New Swift and EcoBank merger. I think we need to just talk about this so that people don't keep asking the same questions.
Okay.
Victor.
That's rumor. That's people writing what they want to write.
Yes.
I mean, Swift has been around for a long time, and we have been working with many big banks across the continent. EcoBank is one of them, but that was in Uganda. And if you go into your Swift account and look for EcoBank, you will find EcoBank there. Many people don't realize this. Yeah, but there is no merger between EcoBank and Swift.
That's basically what I said to him, that please get the information from our SWIFT leaders or from Eco6. It must be official. Don't pick things from Facebook, from Instagram, from wherever. All the messages that we have, they'll be in the SWIFT community. You will be informed directly at the appropriate time. So whatever information you are asking about is a rumor. It's not true.
What we've done is we've created an ecosystem where financial institutions, where we can work with local financial institutions at the local level for local currency transactions. And you will find over the coming months, there will be some major names on the continent that will come on the platform. It's part of a process whereby we engage with them. They might do a number of things. For example, one opportunity could be that they issue cards that people can use to go, to do shopping in conventional outlets and so forth. And then, the next step would be to get them in so that they can buy and sell the Lumi, so that you can then be able to do your deposits there to buy Lumi and to spend your Lumi on a card that is issued by a traditional bank. I'm not saying that this is on its way, but there are conversations that are going on, right? You can't disclose everything. You can't talk about everything, but we are talking to major institutions, regulated institutions across the continent. And we are going to be introducing other services ourselves from other parts of our regulated entities as it relates to interfacing with fiat. But the journey is very much alive. We are not moving away from this Lumi idea. It is the solution to financial inclusion. It is a solution to the multiple currency problem that has plagued the continent and has been a huge impediment to trade for many years. I mean, no one with a reasonable mind can argue about that. These are facts that are staring us in the face. And unless we stand up and bring solutions to address those problems, they will not go away on their own. And as it relates to the use of the Lumi, we are also, I can say for sure that we are also working in the background still to access the kind of liquidity that we might need to support merchants, because it would be first to support merchants for restocking. But until we make the announcement and say that it is ready and it is available and this is where merchants can go and do it, it's not done, okay? But we are having conversations. Remember that we have determined that having a common instrument of exchanging value is the right thing to do. It's a fair thing to do. Making sure that it is inclusive and that nobody is left out is the right thing to do. It's a fair thing to do. Giving people the opportunity to dream and aspire to participate in trading and accessing business opportunities across the entire continent of Africa is the right thing to do. No one can dispute that. The question is, do we have the tools to do it? And we are building the tools. We are putting in place the foundation, brick by brick, to empower every community, every individual, every business to be able to do these things. And remember, we are at a lucky time. I say this, very lucky time. The African Continental Free Trade Area, which brings together 54 countries. Many people in Africa may not even be aware of this, into one common trading bloc which is the African Continental Free Trade Area, with a total market value of about $3.5 trillion, is the biggest wealth creation opportunity in our time. Something like that we will probably never see again in our lifetime. That's just a fact. But I think many of us are going around on our daily lives completely oblivious that this is happening. And this is real. But how can we make it work with 40 different currencies? How can we make it work about trading across the continent when you are in Sierra Leone and you can't trade with next door Ghana and next door Nigeria? How? How?
It's bedtime. No. Yes, Dad.
We can do it with the Lumi.
But we can do it with Lumi. You can
Yes,
do it in
sir.
Transact. You can press a button and choose Nigerian Naira, and you can transfer your Lumi instantly to somebody in South Africa.
Yes, sir.
Malawi. We all know that you can do that now. So it is for us, incumbent on all of us, to actually canvass and promote this and make it an even stronger movement so that we can all get to that ultimate place of making sure that everybody is included and everybody is using the Lumi as their singular underlying value of exchange with complete local currency experience, wherever they are, wherever they go. So that you can sit in Nigeria, press a button and do a transaction with somebody in South Africa, in South African denominated values, with the underlying instrument of exchange being transferred, being the Lumi. And you can do that instantly and in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then begin to drive trade and wealth creation opportunities. That is incumbent on us. We have to do this. Nobody else will create that kind of infrastructure and opportunity for us and for the continent, for every country to trade with each other openly and make sure that everybody that needs to be part of it is part of it. There is no reason why you can't make your gari in Nigeria and sell it to somebody in Malawi or sell it to somebody in South Africa. So this is not about one group of people or another. It's about economic empowerment. It's about access to opportunities for all. It's about leveling up, all right, so that we are part of a voice that brings change that can last beyond our own time. We are part of a voice that builds that strong foundation that the future generation confidently needs to build on so that we can write a different kind of story. I'm sure we're all very familiar with the fact that the most ambitious thing that a young person from any African country might think of is leaving their country and flying to the United States or Europe. That's where the opportunities are. And we forget that the continent is the wealthiest place on earth. My heart bleeds sometimes when I see even members of my own family thinking that the best place to go and live a better life is outside, when I know that's not true. We need to change the narrative.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. Thank you very much. Most empowering speech as always. It's not even a speech, it's just facts and truth. You know, that we need to, as Africans, whether on the continent or in the diasporas, because we know that some of us in the diaspora didn't reach there voluntarily. We were taken by force. But to know that we are now linked once again, it's a fantastic it's just fantastic to know. And with the Lumi, I can now trade with my brother, my sister, in anywhere that they are in the world, should I wish to. And I haven't got to worry or concern myself with the CD or the Naira or the Rand or the whatever, or the shillings or whatever currencies there are there, because we have a common currency that we all share, and it's known as the Lumi. So let us utilize it. Let it be our vehicle, like we would do to get from one part to another. Let us use it because it's there for us, and only we can make that change. As Sister Lumba has written in the chat, it's for us to make that change. Let's just go on to the other question now. We've got another one from Nandu June Ayo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Sister Lumba, please correct me because you know that I'm learning here.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You did very well. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it sounded.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Okay,
Go
my
on,
question is that when I went to Transat, I log in on Transat and I see so many icons there, and I see other bank transfer. So when I went there, when I go to understand what you have explained, you say the limit is not going to be converted in our local currency. So when I see that icon, I'm very, very confused how it will be used. That is what I want to ask.
Okay, let me try and explain something. Where are you located, sir?
From Nigeria.
What currency? Right, and you use the Naira, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm in England. Okay, let me just break it down. I'm in England and I come to Nigeria, and I do not want to have to change my sterling pounds to Nigerian dollars or whatever the currency is called. Okay, and you run a restaurant in Nigeria, and I come to your restaurant to buy some food. Yeah. How much is a plate of food in Nigeria? A decent plate of food, because I'm a lady, I like to eat.
500 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira.
Right. Thank you, Brother Timothy. It's 1,000 naira. Yeah. And you accept Lumi. I can come, I can put in the top, in Transact, there is a tab key that I can tab on and say, I want to pay this man, I want to pay Brother Ayo in Nigerian currency, 1,000 Nigerian naira. Thank you. 1,000 Nigerian naira. Okay, so you will receive your 1,000 Nigerian nairas. However, in the background, it's converted into Lumi. So I'm still paying you your money, but we're using the Lumi. Do you understand? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's what Dr. Line is saying. It's getting the local experience. So anywhere in the world that I go, if I go to Ethiopia and I want to buy a plate of food, I click on birr because I'm paying them 150 birr. But the background would say it's equal to 0.1 Lumi. So my account will be deducted 0.1 Lumi. Yeah, the Nigerian, if it equals 0.2 Lumi, my account will be deducted 0.2 Lumi. But I have given you what your value, which is 1,000 naira in your local currency. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how it works.
We will, before we close, as we do often, we will make a few payments to other people in different currencies on Transact, just to close off. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3, just to illustrate the point and increase the learning.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. Okay, right. Thank you, Brother Ayo. We'll just go on to the next one. Silver Surf, how are you? Unmute. Silver Surfer 53. You can unmute, sir. There was another person. Let me see if this Silver Surfer, are you going to unmute? There was a person that kept putting their hands up. I just tried to find their name. Silver Surfer, in the meantime, you can unmute and ask your question. Okay, Silver Surf is unable to unmute at the moment. We're just going to the next one. Samika Pope, you can come back in again?
Yes.
Yeah, how can we help you?
Question. I'm still on the same topic with the tickets. I haven't seen that gone through as yet.
Right.
And also,
okay, your upgrade and the limit has been lifted. It's you're now on an individual plan. I think the limit is 99 AKL. I mean, that's
there you go.
Many people.
So
yours is done.
So you're now able to go and do your payments, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And also, I heard you guys was talking about currency. Is this so St. Vincent also, as in?
Yeah. If I wanted to pay you, what currency do you use, Samika?
Eastern Caribbean dollar.
Right. So if I wanted to pay, if I came to St. Vincent and I came to your place of your establishment and you say, yes, I accept the Lumi, I can pay you the local value in Lumi straight away without me having to work out how many this equals this, how many that equals that. Or I wonder if I'm giving her enough to cover whatever this meal is. No. The system does that automatically, which Dr. Linus will show us going forward just before the end of the session. And it is so helpful, and it gives you a better understanding when you actually see it working. The conversions you don't have to worry about anymore. You just pay them in the local currency. Dr. Linus will take us through that.
Okay, so in regards of me, okay, if I want to send a gift for you, it automatically will tell me how much Lumi I have to send, or
if you want to send me one Lumi, one AKL, you just make sure at the top where Dr. Linus is going that it says AKL, because I accept AKL. Yeah, if supposing I wanted to do it in pounds, you would just click and say pound sterling. Yeah, and you put in the pound sterling value you want to sell, the system will automatically create the Lumi equivalent. Do you understand? Okay. So all right, well, I say to everyone, yeah, personally, AKL is AKL, use AKL as wherever you can. However, having said that, there are people who want to pay in their local and gain that local experience. Yeah, and it gives them that opportunity also. So Dr. Linus will take us through that, and then you will actually physically be able to see how powerful the Transact platform is. And thank you so much. And how it can enhance any business, be it in their local fiat currency or straight Lumi to Lumi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of expectations for the future, one of the things we could do is when we onboard local institutions, then the local institutions will come on to Transact, and they can then trade with you directly. So you can go and deposit your local currency in the bank, and the bank can make the equivalent amount available to your Transact account. And next time you want to go and cash out, you might go to the bank and transfer the amount to the bank, and the bank might give you that amount. Okay, or the bank might give you a card where the balance that is spent on that card is linked to your Transact balance. But there is a lot that needs to be done in the background, conversations to be had in the background, strategies put in place, agreements put in place, but we are heading to the right direction because there is no other solution. There is no other way. And what we are doing has never, ever been done before. That's why we will face the challenges. There will be difficulties, but we have to overcome those difficulties.
Right, because this is a big problem for me here in St. Vincent, because even when I talk about it, it's everybody is like they're lost.
That's fine. That's fine, Samika. That is why you are here. And I am so glad that you are here to be able to see what's going on, learn what's going on, and invite them. And, you know, so that they can also get a better understanding as to how it works, what they can do, and what the future may hold, which is infinite. I cannot even express, like what Dr. Linus said. There is so many things going on in the background that it hasn't even been brought to light yet. And a lot of discussions are going on to various people. But I will say once again, unless that information has been put on our community platform, do not take it as gospel, because anything that we are doing that will affect the community, whether adversely or favorably, it will be notified to us as a community on the platform, because they don't leave us in the dark. So anything you hear outside of Swifin, do not broadcast it as if it is gospel, because it is not so. It is just them saying whatever they want to say. Because remember, like Dr. Linus showed us, we've got a lot of sharks. We have a lot of sharks, but we are going to overcome those sharks. Like what the man said, you just hit it on the nose and it will go about its business. So that is what we are going to do. Hit it on the nose, and it will go about go about their business, and we just deal with what we know is right. And anything that we need to know will be put on our community chat, and Dr. Linus and the other leaders will inform us as and when they become live and accessible to all. Okay,
that's correct.
Right. Silver Service, I don't know if you're able to unmute now. Okay, we're going to go back onto Yayo. Yayo, go ahead.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Silver Surfer. How are you?
Hi, this is Peter Gittins here as Silver Surfer 53. I'm sorry about that. Just now there, I'm having a problem with the light. I'm on the road, on the move, and my screen went dark, so I couldn't access the button.
Okay,
So
well, you're
I'm
here.
sorry.
You're here now. You're here now. How can we help
Yes,
you, sir?
a wonderful day to everyone, each and everyone, and great program. And what I would like to find out is, do we have any marketing material? I can't remember noticing anything like that, advertisement, flyers, or that sort of thing for the Swiffin program.
Dr. Linus?
That's a very good question. We are so busy working and doing what we need to do that we're not paying too much attention on advertising.
Yeah, because
that's something we haven't paid too much attention on. But
yeah, because
go in the community, connect, come to connect. And if you have some great ideas on advertising, please come on board. Come and lead that area. We'll give it to you.
Okay. Yeah, because when I'm speaking to some certain people, they looking all show me your marketing material, how can I market it and that sort of thing. So I was just wondering, and putting out the point to the community. Right? So
I know people who are so good at marketing, they can sell you sand in a desert. We don't try.
Yeah, sure right. You're sure right. Right.
Thank you, Silver Surfer.
Thank you. But on a serious note, Silver Surfer, please, if you have some skills in marketing, please come on board. I'm sure there are lots of things you can do to help create the awareness. This is a collective movement like no other. And, we will get to the end, but it has to be so collective that we need to hold each other's hands. We need to keep moving, as one would say. We have to keep moving. I think it was Martin Luther King who said that whatever you do, keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. And if you can't crawl, what did he say? If you can't crawl, what did he say? Well, if you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving. Keep moving to your target. Keep moving to your goal. Take action every day.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is from Mohammed Abdulranam.
And Sister Pauline, once we take the question from Mohammed, the last one would be from Patrick.
Yes, no problem.
So nobody else should raise their hand after that.
Oh, they can raise, but they won't be answered. So there you go. We've already stated. Mohammed Abdulrahman. Okay, well, he probably having difficulty unmuting. So we go to Ataya Patrick. Ataya Patrick, can you unmute? Right, well, those two seem to be having difficulty unmuting. Dr. Linus, if you want to go and do your small demonstration to show them the local currency experience, please.
Okay, very good. Let's do that. Let's do that very quickly. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, by all means, go ahead.
Yes. And we'll make that bigger. So again, to access Transact, you go into Connect, and from Connect, you move your mouse over to Transact, and you can click on Log into Transact, or just go straight into your Transact dashboard. If you're not logged in, either one will give you the opportunity to log in, okay? So if I go If I click on Transact Dashboard, it should bring up that. I'm already logged in. And for our friends, our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, who are asking about Nigerian Naira and all that. So if you click on this button here, it gives you the opportunity. The default is AKL. So whenever you log in, it will say AKL, unless you change it.
So therefore, Dr. Linus, let's just take this as idiot's guide. Me and my brother, I just gone to his restaurant and he's selling his food. I think it said it was 100 Naira. So
okay.
What will I do?
What you will do is you will come here, you'll click this button and you would look for NGN. NGN is for Nigerian Naira, okay? You select that. Your balance will be displayed in Nigerian Naira equivalent, and you can then go to make payment, transfer, and you can click on send money. You then enter the amount, you enter first, of course, the account. Anybody in Nigeria? PE number. PE.
PE22.
Go on, Timothy.
PE22.
Just keep going.
04 35.
Continue. I think he's having internet issues.
Yes. Anybody else?
Let me put it on the chat.
Hello. We do not do the shout out. We do not do the shout out here. We do not do the shout out. We're talking to one person at a time. Timothy, you're having issues. So you're 22. Put it in the chat.
Is having problems. So let's take another one.
Paul was the one who asked the question. He seemed to have a clear line. Paul, are you there? Aniga,
yeah,
Paul? Right.
Yeah, I will put my Transact account on chat here.
No, please read it out so we can put it here. Just read it out.
Yeah.
What is it?
Here is it.
Yeah. Put it.
PE.
Yeah.
PE 22015.
Okay. PE 0015.
What I say PE 22015.
Yes.
234.
234.
PE 04.
No. Timothy, can you please be silent for the time being while we're doing this demonstration, please?
Okay, we stop at 334, then 60.
60.
76.
76.
90.
90. Okay, once you enter the number, you have to click on the name. So it's when you click here, it will display the name. That's Akigia Paul. And then because I've selected Nigerian Naira on the top of the screen, as you can see here, the amount I enter here would be the equivalent amount in Nigerian Naira. The underlying singular instrument of exchange is always the Lumi. There is no conversion and there is no access to the fiat. We want to keep trade and transaction in Lumi. So if I want to pay my plate of food for 1,000 Nigerian Naira, I just enter 1,000 and I submit. Okay, so that transaction is done. That's how quick it is. Now, used.
Can you hold on just a second and we'll ask questions after? Right, go on, Dr. Linus. Sorry.
Yes, because I've certainly made a payment to Paul before. That's why it did not ask me to make this, to save the account. But if I ever just went to his restaurant, I don't need to take that PE number all the time. Remember, it's a long number that you have to type in. So there is room for error, for mistakes and all that. Of course, maybe we can introduce the ability to scan a code later on that can then pick up that number automatically, but we're not there yet. So what you can do is save the number. And when you save it, you can see I have Paul here. I can just click Paul and it will automatically populate the number. If I want to send Paul 500, I send. So now I've sent Paul 1,500. If I want to see what those values are in Lumi, I just need to go back here and select my Lumi, African Kingdoms Lumi. And then I come and select transfer history, and I can look at the transfer history. So the amount that I sent for 500, that's 0.08 Lumi. The amount for 1,000 is 0.15 Lumi, okay? So I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about the fact that I need to type 0.15 or I need to calculate how many Lumi is in Naira. I just enter the amount in the local currency where I am. Now, if I am, let's say I traveled from South Africa and I am still now in Lagos, in Paul's restaurant. I receive a call from my family in South Africa that I need to pay a bill. So what I will do on the spot, while still in Lagos, I would simply come in here and I would select ZAR for South African Rand. And I will ask them, okay, ma'am, how much do I need to pay? And
go to your send.
Say 200. So I go to transfer, send money. I then come in here. I pick the person, anybody from South Africa.
One person, I don't know how, anyone from South Africa here?
Anyone from South Africa with a PE number?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Oh, no, I don't have a PE number. Sorry for that.
Okay.
Have you got a Transact account, ma'am?
Not yet. I'm still waiting for my names to be corrected on the SwiftIn account.
Okay.
Okay. You can go ahead and still create it though, with the correct information and then submit your ID and it will be looked at. In fact, you need to do that because it's only from the KYC information you submit in Transact that they can use to make changes on your account. Please, if you have not created your Transact and supplied your KYC, then the change that you are requesting on account may not be done.
Okay, let us go.
Okay.
Can we go to St. Vincent then?
Can we try Jamaica?
Yes, let's try Jamaica.
Okay.
So what you will do?
Hello?
Yes, let's try Jamaica.
Mel, do you have a Transact account?
I sure do.
Okay. One voice, the only voice I want to hear right now is Mel's.
And Mel, are we doing this with Jamaican dollars?
Well, I'm in the United States. So if I travel from here to Jamaica and I need to purchase something, how would I go about that?
You would select JMD, for Jamaican dollars, and you would look for people within this community who are accepting payments in Lumi.
Okay.
On arrival in Jamaica, you will select Jamaican dollars, and you would pick the account. Anybody with a, okay, I'll take your account number. PE
220 629 399 49 481.
481. Now, the moment you enter that, I always say this, you must click where it says account name. You must click it. Now, it says Melva Donegal.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Perfect. So it's Jamaican dollars. So let's send 1,000 Jamaican dollars.
How much for a case of mango? Because I could do some mango right now.
I'm not sure. I was just there in July, so I'm not sure.
Because I'm doing that transaction to that account for the first time, it's giving me the opportunity to save the details. So next time I don't have to enter it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can save it. And so when I want to make a payment, let's say you are a restaurant, next time I go back to your restaurant, or you are a grocery store, next time I go back to the grocery store, I just go to my saved accounts and I just select Melva.
Okay.
And I enter this time 250 Jamaican dollars because I've still selected Jamaican dollars here. And I submit. So that is done too. Now, if you want to see how much that is in Lumi, then you go and you select your Lumi again.
Okay.
Which is your AKL. And then you go back and you can look at the transaction history, the transfers, the history, and you can see that 0.011.
Ah, wonderful.
That is 0.43.
So
but if you are happy to work in Lumi.
Dr. Linus, can I just explain something to our people?
Yes.
You see that 0.11? That is what you're going to be deducted from your account.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So don't think it's going to be the 1,000 Jamaican dollars that you're thinking about. No, it will be the Lumi equivalent.
The Lumi.
All right.
That's good. Thank you so much.
All right. Very good. And of course, if you're doing business, then you can obviously send an invoice. by requesting money. So I am going to display. Let's go back to my home screen, see how much Lumi I have. I still have 4. So I can take a few requests.
Okay,
I'm not saying.
Hold on just a second. We don't shout out here. So
Sorry, my dear.
right.
I'm not seeing St. Vincent as in, I'm not seeing anything.
Right, so it's something that we may have to have a look at if their particular currency is not on
Oh,
the
for
list.
St.
Dr.
Vincent,
Linus.
what's the
Yeah,
what's the
yeah.
currency? What's the currency code I use in St. Vincent?
Samika?
It's Eastern Caribbean dollars.
Eastern Caribbean dollars. What's the code again?
It's 1784.
No. The actual, the 3-letter code, sorry.
The 3-letter code.
Yes. Every currency has 3 letters.
Like,
okay.
The UK is pounds, but it'd be GBP.
US dollar is USD. Jamaican dollar is JMD.
No, in terms of, okay, in terms of, I have a $10 bill here. It's at 10 Eastern Caribbean Central Bank.
No. You see that if you look at Dr. Linus's screen here, yeah, you have 3 initials. Like you got the Hong Kong dollars, you can see it's HKD for Hong Kong dollars. Each country has an abbreviation that is associated with that currency of that particular currency. Even if
like
you were to
Point of interest.
yes, server.
I think it's SVG, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So can you try that, Dr. Lina? SVG.
SVG.
Thank you.
SVG. Nope.
I knew it, but I just the writing and coming to my mind right now. But
okay, but that's an idea, but it's something that we can look into to ensure that all our currencies are covered, Dr.
Why don't I search? I can search here. Just give me one moment. I can just search Eastern
Caribbean.
Can we have one voice, please?
Eastern Caribbean dollar symbol. That's what we're looking for. Eastern Caribbean dollar.
Sorry, Sister Pauline. Dr. Linus, check EC.
ECS.
EC.
Yeah.
Is it ECS? Okay.
The dollar sign. It's EC.
Eastern Caribbean dollar. EC. Is it ECD or ECS? Okay.
No, it's EC. It's right there. There it is.
All right. So if that is the case, let's have a look. So you come in here and you just type EC.
ECS.
ECS. No.
Dr. Linus?
Yes.
Try XCD. X is an X-ray, C is in Charlie, D is in David.
Ah, there you go. Thank you so much.
Right, that's it.
So this is for Sister Shamika. That is what when they ask you what currency you want to be paid, your local currency experience will be XCD.
XCD.
This is it.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, please. I'm looking at it.
Okay, so I will select that, and now I can do my transactions in Eastern Caribbean dollars. So when I go to make payment, transfer.
Sorry, Silver Surfer, can I just mute you because you're coming with a feedback, my sir? Sorry about that.
Okay. So anybody from Eastern Caribbean with an account, PE number?
Jamaica, PE.
Yes.
22. 17. 58. 57. 21. 54. 66.
Okay, very good. You must click here. You must click here. Okay. And it says Shemikia Lohman Poppy.
Pope, yeah.
Eastern Caribbean dollars, let's say 1,000, and then you submit. Oops, I have insufficient balance. Now let's try 500 then. Sorry. My apologies. I did not take that number down. Do you mind giving it to me again?
PE
PE
22
22
17
17
58 57
57
21 54 66.
Okay, very good.
Copy it, Dr.
Right.
Linus.
I'm going to copy it now. I click there, that's the name, and then I come in here, and now I'm going to just try 500. If 500 works, then fine. If 500 doesn't work, okay, we try another amount. Okay,
Insufficient.
it's not letting me. So let's try 250. I'll keep going it in half until it's done. Oh, nope, not enough.
Oh, so that's quite high.
Let's try again. Let's
That's
try
good.
75. Okay, so that one is done. And then I can save that account for future. So in future, I don't need to take that account number again. I would just simply click saved account. I can click on Jamaica and I can put 100 Jamaican dollars. That would not work, would it? Let me put, I'll put 50. That's 50 Eastern Caribbean dollars, okay? 53. Submit, it's done. Now, if I go back to the history,
no, change your transaction at the top to AKL, yeah.
And then we can keep it to AKL and we'll see how much that is. So for the Eastern Caribbean dollar, that's quite, Eastern Caribbean dollar is quite strong then in that case.
Yeah, it looks it.
Okay, so that's 1.28 Lumi. That one was 1.81 Lumi. That particular transaction. It was to Shamika. That's the account number. This is the transaction number. And the status is completed. It's done. So the idea is that we should be able to execute transactions in real time in order to power and drive trade across the continent. There is no solution like it. I mean, that is accessible to everybody. But we are learning ourselves, and we continue to do that as part of the movement. But the success of it really depends on the adoption by the people that it's intended to empower, and by the education of the future generation that must embrace it to push it to the next level. So let no one tell you that your scars and your history and your experience and trials and tribulations have not made you strong enough to achieve success in a way that puts you in a position where you can define the solutions to your own problems. And this is part of the solutions to the problems that plague 1.4 billion people on the continent and elsewhere around the world.
Right. What I wanted to say is, Akiga Paul, Akia Paul, you were the one who was asking the question. Do you now understand what we mean by the local experience? Akia Paul?
I was the one that asked the question.
Oh, was it you? Sorry, my darling. I apologize. I thought it was Akia Paul. But do you understand exactly what we mean now about the local experience? There is no worry. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm understood.
Thank you, sir. Right, sorry, Dr. Lance. I just want to make sure that when we leave this platform, whoever has asked a question, they're in full understanding of exactly what it is that we got. They haven't got to come back and say, oh, I don't understand. You know?
Correct.
Right. Ectaya Patrick, your hand was up before. Can you unmute? Because we were calling for you earlier on, but you had disappeared. Can you unmute? Patrick? Adatia, Patrick, can you unmute? If not, can you write your...
Hello.
Yeah, hi there. How are you? Yes, we can hear you. You're not coming through very clear.
Good evening to you all.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hello, can you hear me now?
You're not very clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, just about.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Go ahead and
Yeah,
hopefully we can have.
this issue of email is not unique. I have so many problems now on my hand, over 80 of such problem. Email is not
Okay.
in swiping account.
Is that in which account are we talking about? Are we talking about Swifting account or Transact?
Swifting account. Swifting account.
Right, Swifting account. Dr. Linus, he's saying that the messages are coming back, it's that the emails are not unique.
Yes, that is true. That is a problem we are aware of. Now, when we opened up registration before, agents registering other people without providing a valid email because it was not required at the time to activate the email address. And so when somebody was helping somebody else to register, they would put their own email address and put person's details. Now, that causes problems. And the problem that it causes is that when that person now loses their password and they need their password to be reset, they don't have a way of receiving it. And it causes a support issue for our team. And so now each account has to have its own email address so that if you need help and your password needs to be reset, it can be delivered to you by your email address. So people need to update their information on account to reflect an email address that is unique to them. Because without that, you will not be able to receive confidential information on your account. You will not be able to reset your password. You will not be able to get help from the support team.
So how do they go about it now?
Well, they need to create an email address that they have access to, and then create a Transact account with the proper email address, and then the request to change the email address on account. Our team will check that the KYC information on Transact and the email address are correct, and they will action the request to change the email address on account. If you don't have an email address and you want to acquire one or you want to buy one, we actually recommend very highly that you invest $2 in the Swiften mailbox address. That is the most reliable. The reason we say that is because we know that Hotmail and Yahoo and even Gmail, sometimes they delay the delivery of messages into those mailboxes because of the sheer volume of messages we send out every day. We send out thousands of messages every day. So to avoid any delay, get your Swiften mailbox address.
Yeah, Dr. Nilus, the problem I'm having now is that I used to buy dollars through what do you call it now? A combo. But now I can't do that anymore because when I'm using a Visa card and MasterCards, it doesn't go, it doesn't leave Nigeria. So how do I go about this?
Okay, so you can't use a card that is issued in Nigeria to do payments online?
I have the intention of buying bulk mails from Swifing Boss. I have that intention of buying at a time, bulk ones, so that I cannot distribute to those who wants to buy from me as an agent.
That's correct. And the official position on that is if you buy in bulk, you will get them for $1 and you can retail them for no more than $2 and you keep $1 for yourself.
Yes. So how do I start this transaction now? Because I can no longer use a MasterCard and a Visa card any longer from Nigeria.
Why is that? Why is that? Is that whatever message is coming up, Brother Patrick?
It declines. It declines. Unlike about 2 months ago, when I was using a Visa, a MasterCard through our local bank Zenith, it goes once without hesitation. But now it's rejecting.
All I can suggest is that you try again, okay?
And speak to your bank and let your bank allow that transaction, because your bank may think that it's not you. and someone has got your details, because that's what's happened in England. If certain transaction goes through, and it's not a transaction that is you use regularly, it's a one-off. They don't know that it's still you doing it. So contact your bank and said, I am doing a purchase and this is where I'm purchasing it from. Yeah, and this is how much I want to go through, and I want you to allow this transaction to be authorized. So it sounds like a bank issue, not you, not Swiffin, but a bank, and they're just doing it to protect you, because they don't know that your details, it's you that's using your details. It could be someone else have your details. And they're doing that. And then if they release it and you try again and it's still blocked, then we can come back and talk about this again. But that sounds like a bank issue for your protection.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try it. Within the week. I will try that. Thank you very much.
Yes,
you're welcome.
And just for information for everybody else, if you go to mailbox and you click on email, okay, it will bring you to this page, which is just general information on how the email works. The format is first name dot last name at inbox.swiffin.com. Okay. So when you are paying for your email box, you must provide the first name, must provide the last name. Then once the payment is received, the mailbox will be created and you will then receive a message on Transact telling you about your password. Sorry, not on Transact, on Connect, telling you about your password and how you can use to log in. To log into your mailbox, go over to mailbox and click on log into mailbox. When you click there, you will be asked to enter your username and password. Okay, so let me log out of this one. You enter your name. So my first name is Linus, last name is Etube at inbox.swiffin.com. I enter my password. This verification code, you need to leave it blank because that's for two-factor authentication, which you can only set up once you access the account, once you actually logged into the account. And then you click on sign in, okay? When you sign in, it will take you to your inbox, okay? And you can see your messages. I happen to be looking at other accounts. For example, I'll show you what the problem we're having on messages that are bouncing.
Patrick, I'm going to mute you, not because I don't want you to speak, you're just getting a feedback at the moment, okay? So I'm just going to...
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
So you see all these messages here, these are messages that have been delivered back to our system because there's been a problem actually delivering the message. And if you look at the number here, that's 80,000 messages. So there is a lot of messages that are coming back because there is a problem. In this particular example, it says temporarily deferred due to unexpected volume. Okay, we send out thousands of emails every day, both on Transact, an account, and on Connect. If you combine those three platforms together, the volume of messages we send out is very high every day. For us, before we implemented this email system, it was one of the largest cost components for us because we would pay to send out the messages. And then we decided that we had to invest in our own infrastructure to send messages out. Now, because we are using that infrastructure satisfactorily to send messages out, we want to extend it to the rest of the community to benefit from it, so messages are delivered satisfactorily. Here's another example. When I click that, the chances are that one is temporarily deferred. What that means is, if you go online and you request a password reset, and your message is unexpectedly delayed or deferred, then you will not get that message immediately. It does not mean that our system is not sending it out. Our system is sending it out. It is very efficient, very quick. I can show next time a graph which shows you the number of messages that are generated every second. This is happening literally second by second, okay? So if we open this other one, in some cases, okay, this is also deferred. and you can look at the volume of messages that are not being delivered because they are deferred. Let's have a look at this one. This one says again deferred. Okay, this is Yahoo mailbox, as you can see. So any message that is sent to yahoo.com.
It seems to be Yahoo that seems to be causing one of the biggest issues, Dr. Linus.
Yahoo is a problem. Okay, Hotmail is also a problem, right? Because if I search for Hotmail, I'm not sure if I can, but let's say I tried. Oh, it's not letting me bring that up.
What about what about Gmail?
I know Hotmail is an issue, right? Gmail is fine.
It's just delayed.
Sometimes it's just delayed, but Gmail is working fine.
So it's definitely Yahoo that seems to. So if there's anyone here that has set up an account with Yahoo, that has a Yahoo email address, server, please don't unmute yourself.
No.
Right. Is there anyone here? I will come back to you, Silver Surfer. Can you just bear with me a second, please? If there's anyone here that has a Gmail address and wondering why they're not receiving the emails, then this is basically explaining to you what's been going on. It's been throwing it back as being undelivered.
Yeah, and we can see the message that was sent out. I mean, this is just an example because we are all part of this community and we are just focused on addressing problems. But in this particular instance, if we click here, you can see the message that was supposed to have been sent. Just the details on what's actually happened. So we have a way of finding it and getting to the bottom of it. But the problem is so big. I mean, this is 80,000 emails. I mean, how many people do we need to go through this and then be contacting customers that, you know, there is a problem with your emails being delivered? We don't have that bandwidth. It's not possible. And so the only solution is that you get your Swiffen mailbox. When you get your Swiffen mailbox and you request a password reset, it will be delivered to you instantly, right? Other services are delayed or actually in some cases blocked. But I have to say that our mail system is been cleaned. I mean, we went through a period when we were checking all the blacklists are available, and you can check. I mean, let me just have a look. If I go to blacklist.org, I can just very quickly check, and you can see what's happening with respect to the nature of our email system. All clear, all clean, DNS detected, unless there's been a problem in the last few days. But this is inbox.swiffen.com, and that's our email service. And you can see everything is okay. Everything is working absolutely okay. The messages from our system would not even go to spam. In many cases, they will be delivered straight into your inbox because we've taken all the precautions to make sure that they are not available or they are not listed in some of the white lists or some of the blacklists for spam-related messages. We had to do this because of the sheer volume of messages that we send out. Just to give you an example, if you receive commissions, then you would receive a notification that a commission has been paid on account, and that's on account. So for every payment that goes out on account, if 5 tiers of commissions are paid out, T1, T2, T3, all the way to T5, and each of the recipients of T1 to T5 receives a notification, then for every commission payment or for every transaction, we are sending out 6 times the messages. And so if you take the stimulus distribution, for example, where we are paying out to more than 2 million accounts, then that is 2 million times 6. That will be about 12 million messages that go out. So our systems are constantly, literally, even as we speak, constantly churning out and communicating with the community, sending messages, notifications to people, onboarding people, registering them and all that. So that's why I always say that if you try and log in and, for some reason you're not able to access it, please don't get upset. Please don't get frustrated. Please try again. Take a break, get a coffee, and come back and try again. There is a lot of processing that is going on in the background, which is completely mind-blowing if you look at it in detail, okay? But we are talking of something of the scale that requires to service a lot of people. And we still have to invest quite a lot in the infrastructure to make sure that it is handling these transactions in a snap. And that even if you have 1 million people all trying to get on at the same time, that they will all be able to get in at the same time. And sometimes we have huge spikes in traffic, as you can see here, where you have, in some instances, more than 6,000 people. I mean, on this call, we are how many of us? About 33. But if you look at this particular time, there was a huge spike on traffic and messages and all that, which went over to 6,000 people accessing at any one particular time. So just be patient and just bear with us. And let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. We will make the changes that need to be made. We will make the improvements that need to be made. We will solve the problems that confront us, and we will address those challenges as they come. But forward, we must keep moving forward. We are solving a problem that affects millions of people who have been neglected and excluded for many, many generations. We need to rewrite that story. We need to rewrite that narrative. We need to create our own opportunities for our youth, for our future, and for our own future generation of our own families. Make no mistakes, we are all here for a reason. And we are all here so that we can make the world a better place, so others can inherit a much better world than the one we came into. And so if there are challenges and problems that confront us and face us in our time, we must never shy away from addressing those problems. We must keep thinking, how can we address this problem that is plaguing and impacting the lives of millions of people? That's why this movement must go on. It's not about me. It's not about you individually. It's about us as a people. It's about the community. It's about the community. It's about the collective and the impact that we can all make together when we do this together. Okay? And it's tough. I mean, none of this is free. It costs a lot of money. And so when we say pay $2 for an email, please pay so that we can put that towards increasing access and improving the infrastructure. If we don't do it, somebody else will not do it for us. And we need to get away from this idea that it should be done by somebody else. It should be handed to us as charity so that we can use it. We are not a charity case. Africa is not a charity case. The African diaspora is not a charity case. We have built nations and created wealth that has been passed from one generation to another for others. We have that capacity. We can do it for ourselves too. We can do it for the benefit of generations to come. We can inspire the future generations so they can also build on the foundation that we lay. There are serious problems that confront our communities when it comes to access, when it comes to financial inclusion. We must confront those problems. We can't pass the buck to somebody else. We can't wait for somebody else to derive those solutions for us. We've got to think ourselves as a community. We've got to come up with the answers. We've got to be bold to implement those answers. We've got to be bold to embrace them and see them through. So let no one tell you that the struggles of your forebears and your own personal struggles are not enough experience for you to excel in what you want to do.
Right, thank you, Dr. Linus. I just wanted to take on something very, very quickly. Sorry about this, Dr. Linus. Silver Surfer, you were coming in when we were talking about the purchasing of the Swifin emails. I don't know if you wanted to contribute something. I was muting you because Dr. Linus was presenting, so I do apologize. Go ahead, sir.
I apologize. Actually, I heard you was mentioning or asking if there was anyone who on Yahoo, and I thought they were saying if they had any problems. So I was about to say I'm on Yahoo. I have a YNAB account and I haven't had any problems so far. But also, as I indicated to you, I was on the road and I did tap it by accident, moving the phone around. So
Okay.
I'm not inside.
Okay.
Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyway, that's what we got so far. I saw Brother Ellard's name coming earlier. Greetings, Brother Ellard, if you're still with us. No, he seems to have got kicked off.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's it for today, because we've actually been on for quite some time now, and hopefully a lot of your questions have been answered. There is another session tomorrow, so we can leave some things for tomorrow because we have imparted a lot of information today. By all means, come on tomorrow. If the questions wasn't answered today, we can always go through it again, because we are all learning. Like Dr. Linus said, this is new, it's never been done before. It's teething issues, but we will correct them, we will overcome them. And so I am just confident that at some point we won't be having these kind of discussions anymore, because we are the seeds, that's going to grow that tree, and we would have covered everything. So I do thank each and every one of you for your participation today and what you've contributed one way or the other, just testimonies and everything that you've done today. Dr. Linus, absolutely fantastic presentation, and you've alleviated a lot of concerns that people may have had, and that we could continuously going forward. I'm going to give the floor to our other leaders of various departments so that they can have their closing arguments. So the first one I'm going to start with is Sister Lumba, then Sister Audrey. As for me, I've said my part. You must be fed up of hearing my voice now. And then I'm going to put on to our illustrious leader, Dr. Linus. So Sister Lumba, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. It's very difficult to speak after Dr. Linus because you don't want to dilute the beautiful words that you just shared with us.
That's why I put you next.
Thank you, Pauline. Silver Surfer has just given me an idea that's popped into my head that I think every single person in here should think about. We're talking about marketing and how do we get people to know. Has anyone ever thought about going to their local printing shop and getting some mugs from somewhere, some coffee mugs or cups, T-shirts, and just printing the Swifin logo and Swifin on it? And people will start asking, what is this Swifin? I'm seeing Swifin all over the place. And just by wearing a T-shirt with your Swifin logo and the Swifin word on it, you can be creative. You are creating curiosity and you have a talking point. You go to your braais, your barbecues. This is party time now. We're going into the festivities. Wear a Swifin T-shirt, give a Swifin mug to somebody and use that as a talking point. And by doing so, you never know, you may sign up 3, 4, 5, and 10 and 50 people before the end of the year. So those are my closing thoughts for tonight. And tomorrow we continue again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lumba. Sister Audrey?
Dr. Linus has given all. and on a serious note, just as Sister Lumba said, it would be really diluting what he has said. He has put so much energy into it. The inspiration, everything that we never even thought about. Nothing went unnoticed. And most we can do is not to yield. Never yield. keep moving. Any new ideas, we put them forward. We share them as a group and see how we can build on it in order to get our dream. Because this is a dream and we need to see it come to fruition. We need to, don't care how much they move the goalposts, there will always be that glimmer of light because we know we're on the right path. So that's my share for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. I know I've got two hands up, Silver Surfia and Emmanuel. Please, what I can say to you right now is if you can attend tomorrow, because we've been on this line for quite some time now, and please put your testimony or your questions forward. But so what we're going to do now is go straight to Dr. Linus for closing discussions. It's not that we've been, unless Dr. Linus says differently, please, by all means, come with thy questions tomorrow. But Dr. Linus, please go ahead. The floor is yours because I cannot top what you have done. So I am humble and silent for the first time in a long time. So Dr. Linus, please go ahead. Dr. Linus? He's probably on the phone somewhere, or he's probably taking a call. So I hope that everyone got something out of today. I know I definitely did. And I appreciate everything that everybody's contributed to the discussion for today. Just waiting for Dr. Linus and everyone's question has been answered and queries have been resolved. Dr. Linus, are you available? I've got no idea.
Mute. Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, Dr. Linus, the floor is yours for closing.
Yes, I was on mute.
Your closing arguments, and then we would take up any other questions we have to the grace of the Most High tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Sister Pauline, and thanks for the exciting contribution from everyone this evening. This has been, I mean, the sessions just keep getting better and better and better through the participation of all the community members. And next time you're coming, bring one more person with you so we can make the party even bigger. I have said enough for today. I'm not going to say any more than I've already said. I think we all get the message. Keep moving. But I'm going to leave you with those very words from Martin Luther King himself. I'm going to play one last clip, and that'll be the last statement for the day. That'll be from Martin Luther King. I'm going to share my screen and play that. Okay,
thank you.
Keep moving. Keep moving. If I can, it's not. Sorry. I'm just looking for it. Okay.
This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one, in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. Once you discover what it will be, set out to do it, and to do it well. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal staff, but we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
Amen. Dr. Linus?
On that note, I bid you all a very good night and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we are starting at a later time of 6:30 UK time, and I believe that will be 8:30 South African time. Bring a friend. This movement cannot be done alone. We all need some company to keep moving along with us. Keep moving. Good night.
Good night, Dr.
Good
Linus.
night.
Thank you all again. Oh, just to let everyone know, congratulations. We're getting more and more people attended today. I'm keeping an eye on it. We had 46 people online. So fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So open your mics, say your good nights, hellos.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Lala salama.
Bonne nuit. À la prochaine. À demain.
Africa.
One day I will care to see you face on face.
One day. One day.
Lala salama, Sister Lumba.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Thank you so much for the wonderful meeting today. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Unity Africa will stand. No greedy. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.